I really hope our young men and women that they go over there and kick their commie asses. We need to win in the Olympics.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to an Americans for Limited Government live stream. We had a slightly different open this afternoon. That, of course, was Senator Ted Cruz. I just saw we have some technical trouble on Rumble. That's okay. Stand by. Anyway, so that was Senator Ted Cruz speaking to CBS News's Face the Nation over the weekend. And the reason we started out with that video is because what we want to talk to you about today is how conservatives are winning the culture war. And David Potter, our Americans for Limited Government communications coordinator, he's sort of the expert on all things related to our social media and digital media. So, David, you are going to talk to us about how conservatives are winning the culture war. And that video of Senator Cruz that we just started with, which, by the way, is going viral, is an example of what? There's a term that millennials have coined to describe something like that.
It's savage. It means that Ted Cruz is fearless for the truth. He doesn't care about the repercussions. He's going to say what really matters, and he hopes that we kick the commies' butts. I hope that we do as well, and he doesn't care what the media thinks.
So savage. And we hear that in a lot, actually, on the internet and in terms of videos. There's another one here, which I want to show. And this was at a campaign rally that Beto O'Rourke had in Texas. You know, he recently announced he's going to run for governor against Republican Greg Abbott. And this man approached Beto at a rally. And initially, he may look to be a supporter of Beto. And so let's play this and see what happens.
Maxine Waters.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in your grill telling you don't come back.
Okay.
We don't want you here.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you.
You said it was good. Thank you. Get the hell out. You ain't taking my guns either. You ain't taking my guns. Don't even try to get your hands off of me.
hands are off.
Get your hands off of me. Adios.
Thank you.
How you like that? We're still here in Texas. Ain't nobody wants you here. No means no. 3 times you lost twice. No means no. Thank you for being there. On behalf of the
So, David, what would you call that? Is that an example, again, of a savage sort of takedown of Beto?
It is, particularly because Beto had no idea. He really went in undercover acting like he was going to be a fan of Beto. And then he said, get the hell out of here. We don't want you here. So I love that. It is an example of a citizen saying, we do not want you here. And it's straight in his face.
So when I first saw that video, my reaction was, well, this shows that the right is learning from the left, and we're using some of their tactics to really go after them on social media, especially. Do you think that conservatives are getting better at the social media game?
Absolutely. And that is the key point to the culture war victory. For the longest time, the left and the Democrats were better at telling lies than the conservatives were at telling the truth. They were so popular and so widely believed because they could message very well. They understood how to communicate in a quick, effective way, sometimes funny, to get people aware of their cause and their perspective, but that's completely changing. There's a meme war all over the internet, and conservative memes. What the role of conservative memes in the culture war is the non-political people are being made aware of what's really happening behind the scenes. If they're only watching MSNBC or CNN, they're not getting the truth. But when they're scrolling on their Facebook and they see a meme that says the shelves are empty under Biden when they were not under Trump, it makes them think, you know what, the shelves have been empty. What has really changed? Well, I guess the president has changed, and it gets them asking questions, and then they become what we call red pilled. The blue pill is seeing the surface level. You're not knowing what's really happening. You're believing a facade. It's comfortable. it makes sense on the surface only. But the red pill is the uncomfortable truth that the left communists are wanting to destroy America. They're actively doing that. And the memes that are going on social media, trending on Twitter, videos on Facebook, memes can be videos as well. For those who do not know, they are waking people up to the fact that there is an attempted communist takeover in the United States, and it is up to the citizens to combat that. And it starts with information. It's fifth generation warfare, information warfare. It's happening on TikTok. The Chinese Communist Party is making American Gen Z their sympathizers for the Communist Party. But the memes, as Salty Cracker says, fire the meme cannons. Our weapons in this war is our keyboards. Keep your weapons clean, your keyboards, because we will win the information warfare, and that's how we save America.
And David, up until a few weeks ago, I thought a meme strictly referred to just an image. But you've told me to know it actually is broader than that. It refers to the videos that people put out. And I'm going to show a couple examples of those right now that are really just hilarious. But just to let you know that a meme is broader than just an image. It now encompasses video. And then even as on the screen says, the meme culture, it's even off of the digital and virtual world, things that people do. For example, the Let's Go Brandon shouts that are going on at, football games around the country. That is an example of the meme culture, because it's something that started sort of digitally on the internet and has expanded out. So let me play this one, which is just hilarious and timely because it's about Thanksgiving and the turkey. So stand by.
I have to admit to you, my wife doesn't like me admitting it. That's what I like for lunch. Peanut butter and jelly were selected based on their temperament, appearance, and I suspect vaccination status. The power vested in me as President of the United States, I pardon you. I pardon you this Thanksgiving.
I can't believe he's touching me there.
Okay, so that is a very clever meme that someone put out there on the internet, just mocking Joe Biden. And obviously, a meme has to be based in some sort of a stereotype or an idea that we already have of the person. The idea being that Joe Biden touches people inappropriately. And so now, he's touching the turkey inappropriately.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always a simple message, and then sometimes there's an allusion to something deeper, and it's the fact that Joe Biden is completely inappropriate in his interactions with humans, and the media treats it like it's completely normal. They overlook it, but these memes are reminding people, if they knew and forgot, or they're teaching them for the first time, that this man, Sleepy Joe Biden, has a history of being inappropriate with all people, especially with women.
And I think one of our friends out here, Ephraim Lorenz, says, mocking joke Joe. Joe Biden has been just a boom for people who produce these memes, because, the guy is a gaffe a minute. There's always something he's doing that is inappropriate or bizarre. And he's really, I think, fueled a lot of this success of the conservatives in the digital space. Would you agree?
Absolutely. There are people who make a full-time living, and I would say a comfortable living, just making parodies of Biden. And he doesn't fail to deliver plenty of content. That just shows that there is a hunger for an alternative from that mainstream. And that just reiterates the culture war. Conservatives are winning. We're at, I would say, near rock bottom of fake news. They're desperate. They keep telling more and more lies, and it's not coming true. The things that they wish would come true are not. Kyle Rittenhouse is not a white supremacist. That narrative failed, being one of the things that hasn't come true for them recently. But these memes are turning the culture. As you mentioned, people at football games, they're waking up. America is taking the red pill. And pictorial memes, video memes, just the culture of mocking Biden and the Democrats, and the inconsistent logic. They have to do mental gymnastics to justify so much of what they believe, and to visual. So many people are visual learners, so that's why visual memes are so good. It shows that cognitive dissonance very quickly, instantly, really.
So you talked about the Rittenhouse trial and how that has been a low point in terms of the corporate media, fake news, and they have tried to push for a year now a false narrative that was totally blown out by the jury's verdict. Check out this video, which is trending right now. This is by a rapper named Loza Alexander. He's the same guy who did that awesome video about a month and a half, 2 months ago that really got to the top of the charts, the Let's Go Brandon video. So now he's come out with one about the Rittenhouse trial. So let's watch that real quick. One moment. Let me pull that up.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't get mad at self-defense trick. Don't get mad at self-defense trick. Poppin' comments with the mag if they trippin'. I'm in the right and they mad cause I'm innocent. I'm innocent. I'm innocent. I'm innocent. I'm innocent. I'm innocent. I'm innocent.
So I think go ahead.
2 days old, over 200,000 views so far, and the media cannot stand this guy. He's the kind of person that you'll see Joy Reid call the blackface of white supremacy. I can't even believe that's real. That's just such a joke. But this is driving up blood pressure at MSNBC for sure.
So David, it's Thanksgiving, just a few days away. And usually when I hear the word base or based at Thanksgiving time, I'm thinking something to do with the turkey and the juices. But you just taught me that based actually has a whole new meaning, that conservative millennials, it's kind of like the anti-woke. What does based mean? And then we'll watch a video of an example of that.
Yeah, in addition to basing a turkey, now based means that you're a hardcore freedom lover and you say the things that the media doesn't want people to hear. You say the things that could get you canceled, but you have no care for that because you know the truth must be spoken, and they can't cancel us forever anyways, because we're going to find new places to exist, to build parallel structures. But that's just not caring, just being completely authentic without regard of what the left thinks.
Let's watch this clip that we started out today with. It's Senator Ted Cruz on CBS News's Face the Nation over the weekend. He was asked if the U.S. should boycott the Winter Olympics in China, and he said no. He said the first reason is we need to let them know that we're not going to stand. We need to show courage, just like the Women's Tennis Association, and expose the Chinese when there's wrongdoing and there's human rights abuses. And then he said, and then there's a second reason, and check out what he said.
I really hope our young men and women that they go over there and kick their commie asses. We need to win in the Olympics.
Okay, and that is an example of based. Am I right?
That is based of Ted Cruz, because he's going to be hated on for that, but who cares? He's going to win his reelection. He's popular. He's basically saying F the media. That's what he's saying. Even the interviewer reacted weird after he said that, but it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Super based.
Right? So this has reached to the, all levels of our government, the U.S. Senate, Senator. I think the smart senators have tapped into this. Our smart Congress people know that this is how we're going to win the culture wars. is by just aggressively going after the left's failed agenda and their failed policies and doing it in a funny way, right?
Right, absolutely. And there's a strong indication if someone is based that they're anti-establishment, that they're anti-swamp. I don't want to say there's 100% correlation, but there's a strong correlation that someone that's, memeing on Twitter or saying stuff like Cruz just said, they're not part of the rhino swamp. They're actually freedom loving. And for people that are rhinos, they will not say anything like that. They want to play it safe in the middle lane, and I don't want to offend these people on the right. I don't want to offend these people on the left. But when you hear somebody like Cruz, you know that they represent freedom, because sadly, freedom pisses people off today, and they don't care.
So going back to meme culture, this is another hilarious meme. Again, a meme, I thought it was just a visual, like a picture. It's actually broader than that. It includes videos, and it includes, and even outside of the digital space, the Let's Go Brandon chant has now become a cultural meme. And this video here is just hilarious. It mocks the Biden White House communication team. Oh, look, Ephraim is joining us from Denmark. So thank you, Ephraim. If you want to chime in anymore and give us a little bit of update in real time on what's going on in terms of the lockdowns in Denmark and Europe, we would welcome any insight you have into that. But let's go right now, Ephraim, to this latest hilarious meme. Stand by. Okay, that is just hilarious. And David, you work in this space. What is it that makes a meme so funny? Like, what is the mark of a good one?
I think a mark of a good meme would be something in pop culture that is readily known to the public in general, and you draw a correlation between that and a political event. Like, most people know that Titanic scene where people are so desperate they're jumping off the ship. Well, the fact that 2 communication directors have resigned in less than a week, it shows the desperation of the Biden administration. So that's one way in which a meme hits the high mark. Other ways is just, even if the scene is not known so well in the meme, it's just so absurd, but it hits the nail on the head of absurdity within the Democrat Party and the left as well. Like, absurd and or super well-known cultural references, allusions.
Right. And I think, just to wrap it up, David, I think one of the ways conservatives are winning the culture war is that we are reaching a broader audience than just like the narrow conservative, we vote Republican every 4 years. We're reaching a much bigger audience through social media platforms. And this is really something that has taken over into, like, the independents have moved over towards a lot of the conservative policies. And I like how you put it. Humor can be such an effective way to share a message and to bring people in. And we want to be that big tent. We want all voices on the conservative side. And I think that people like you who are producing this kind of content are really effectively messaging what we are all about, which is limited government and freedom. But you're putting a new spin to it that I think is bringing in a lot of new people to our movement. And it's really reviving liberty and freedom. And I mean, would you agree that we are making a lot of progress there?
Absolutely. And the time is now. Dr. Steve Turley calls this era we're entering the postmodern information age, where we used to rely solely on a few media sources to give us information. We are now at a point where the majority of Americans are seeking their information from smaller, independent YouTube channels, news sites, nonprofit organizations. And one of the most powerful tools in the toolbox of these organizations, YouTubers, is memes, and it is affecting the culture. You can see it in the way things trend on Twitter. You can see it in the fact that the fact checkers on Facebook are more active than ever, trying to conceal the truth or dampen a hard truth that they don't like. You can see it in how often people are being censored. The harder they censor us, they realize that we're actually making progress, but they're pushing us away onto new platforms where we're just going to release more savage memes, and there's nothing they can do about it. Freedom will win. We are turning the culture.
Thank you, Ephraim, and thank you, David. Ephraim Lorenz gave us an answer to our question about what's going on in Europe. Germany is in the grip of the global deception. Denmark is a refuge compared to ground zero, which is Berlin, Merkel, and company. Well, thank you for joining us today from Europe, Ephraim. It sounds like you're in Denmark, so things are a little more free there. I know that's what we're fighting for here at Americans for Limited Government, and we're grateful to you all for watching us and supporting us. And if you'd like to subscribe, check us out, subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. Let me put that banner up. Americans for Limited Government. Our title pretty much describes exactly what we're all about. And we would love to have more of you following us on YouTube, or check us out at Rumble. We're also on Facebook, and getliberty.org is our homepage. Daily Torch is our news site. And David, anything you want to add before we close out?
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Freedom is going to win. It may not look like it right now in the news cycle, but freedom is turning the corner. We're going to save our country. Follow us here. Subscribe on YouTube. We're going to be doing more pro-liberty news as the days and months go on. We're going to keep covering the goofy Biden administration. If you want some pro-freedom merchandise, head over to algmerch.com. We got you with the Let's Go Brandon bumper stickers. We got you with I Did That stickers of Biden messing stuff up. We've got the Americans for Limited Government t-shirt. Check it out. We really appreciate your support.
algmerch.com, and we would appreciate your support, and great place to get gifts for your family and friends for Christmas. So thanks, everyone, and thank you, David.